Today is such an exciting day for us here inside the tent because we're doing our first official bond of hull pieces. We did the bridge deck together before with resin and fiberglass, but this is actually going to be with our methacrylate bonding agent, which is going to bond all the hull pieces together. So, very momentous thing. We're having our friends and patrons, Brian and Summer, come help us with the job. We think it's a two-person thing after Matt and I figured out the pulleys, but just in case, it's nice to have an extra set of hands.
What we're using for the methacrylate is a different thing than what a lot of boat builders or a lot of people are familiar with, which is called Plexus, brand name. We talked to some professional boat builders in Florida and kind of in the South. This is a lot more popular product. It's called Grip is the name of the company that produces this. And the benefits are, actually, if you look at the TDS, it's a little bit stronger. So more tensile strength, more shear, lap shear strength, higher elongation, which is the whole reason for using methacrylate, is that elongation amount. This will do 100 to about 150%, which is phenomenal. But the big thing is time. We can do, the one that we got, the activator that we got, will allow us a 50 to 70 minute work time. So it's great for us amateurs to be able to push and pull and adjust as needed before that work time kind of expires. So huge benefit there, but that's the reason why we chose this particular product. The factory uses Plexus, MA310 is the one that they end up using, but we wanted to give this a shot, and I think this is going to be perfect for our scenario and what we're doing. So this is called Grip SG230 is the name of it, so you want to look it up. So as you can see, they kind of molded it where the bottom part of the flange sticks out a little bit, and that's how we maintain that 4 millimeters, or in our case, we're looking for 3.1 millimeter along the edge. And it comes together right at that top, right where this seam is, so it remains flush. Clever bit of engineering, clever way of doing it, and it should work out perfect. Our big thing that we have to make sure we do is to press in where these pieces come together, this bottom part comes together especially. And for that, we'll use little blocks of wood that we put some tape over. We'll drill through the gel coat here and pull the two pieces together as needed. The only thing that we have to really worry about, I guess, is to press in too far and make it so it's flush the other direction, or not flush the other direction, so it's kind of indented. That's going to be much more difficult, so it's going to be a slow process to make sure we pull that in there.
After getting our bonding agent in the other day, Matt and I actually did a test here with our fiberglass just to make sure that we were measuring everything correctly and that it would work before we went and applied it to the boat the first time, because that would be bad if it didn't work. And everything held up perfectly. After we did the test, Matt went to pull it apart to see if he could, and the fiberglass lamination would rip off, but the bond didn't. So we know it's nice and strong. It's good to know. And then I guess once Brian and Summer get here, we'll finish walking you through the process. After 8 years of the nomadic life, involving crossing oceans in a 34-foot Sabre, refitting an aluminum boat, and then taking that to the Arctic Circle, we're back at it again with a brand new build. This is Matt, and I'm Jessica. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and join us every week as we start our newest project of building a 42-foot catamaran from the ground up.
Hey guys!
Hey, what's up?
You ready for a fun day of work? Yeah, don't step on our fiberglass. What's wrong with you?
I was
Rude. Jeez.
We have more.
You brought your own gloves?
Yeah.
Aw, that's
I have
awesome.
baby hands.
Oh my gosh. The process for mixing this is actually pretty easy. They do give volume and weight, so we can do it, the mixing ratio by either direction. For volume, it's 10 by 1. 10 to 1 ratio. We're not going to use that. We're actually going to weigh each one of them, and in that case it's 8.4 to 1. So just simple math we'll use on the calculator. What we'll do is we're going to fill up this big jar here with the adhesive itself, and it ends up being roughly about 38 ounces. So what we'll do is we're just using our little scale, which is a lot smaller than what it showed in Amazon's website, but it'll work. We'll reset it so it is 0 with the cup itself on top of it. Then we will fill this put it back on and figure out what weight that is. Divide that by 8.4, and that will give us what we need to get for the activator. We'll then do that same process. We'll measure out a cup, reset it to 0, and then do whatever that ratio is to get those two pieces. We'll take them and we'll spread them on this sheet here. This is a plastic sheet that I laid down, and kind of just knead them together until it's all uniform one color. There's no streaks in it at all. And then that will be exactly what we need for the consistency and for mixing everything right together.
Okay, we just went through and did a dry run with Brian and Summer to show them how the panel gets lowered in, kind of how it needs to be held out until the two pieces are even, and then brought in, put the bolts in, tighten them. So hopefully we've all kind of figured out how we're gonna work together to get this done. And I think now we're about to mix up the methacrylic and do our first run for real. And I'm so bummed I had a time-lapse camera set up for our dry run, and then I come back not only to find that it hadn't turned on, but that it was like sitting upside down. So time to do some camera adjustments before we start.
Hello, I had to get olive.
It's the moment of truth. We're gonna start mixing.
Olive?
Okay, so I zeroed it out. Zeroed out again. That's good. And
144.8.
Zeroed out. Oh, 139. Damn, I'm good. That's close enough. We're calling that good.
So when we go to mix the two together, we're going to start a timer and have 50 minutes of work time. So we got to get this done fast.
This is like epoxy. It will be an exothermic reaction. Okay. Mixer on in.
All right, bye home.
That's what I want to have here. Yep.
Make sure to get as much of it out as you can.
Not good enough? No. Just wipe it now.
So now we have it fully mixed together where there's no streaks. Matt is going to take a little bit in the cup and just kind of spread some on both flanges.
And then if you want to get half loaded on.
Yep. And so we're going to load up the cake bag and get ready to put a bead on. Okay.
Okay, so here's the view from inside the hull. I'm gonna try and make this quick because I'm pretty much holding my breath. We filled the cake bag. Matt is doing a layer across the flanges right now. As soon as that's finished, we're going to put the bead on and hopefully lower it into place. Wish us luck.
Right about there, that's right.
You're a good place to start?
Sure.
Right in the middle, right?
Yep.
Like this?
I would go a little, yeah, probably about that.
Okay.
I think that will,
Like this?
yep. Oh, that's perfect, man.
Okay.
Yeah, do that.
You guys make the best helpers. So right now you can see Matt has already put a thin layer on this upper piece of the hull. He's going back now and doing the same on the inside piece, while Brian is creating the bead. And nothing like a bit of teamwork.
That's okay.
25 minutes left.
Huh? You switch it over to this?
I did.
Okay.
It's pretty good over here. What do you think? I can let this touch?
You can, but does it look summer? What do you think?
It's pretty close, yeah.
Okay, let's try letting it touch.
Okay, touching.
Yeah. Yes, please, push in.
Nice.
All right, now I need to try to get these for it. Okay, so we need to do this fun a few more times now.
Getting towards the halfway point of the day or just a little further, we have gotten the first hull over on the port side connected. Everything has been kind of bolted together, and we have taken the braces and then moved them over so that we can lift over the starboard inner hull, and we're just about to start mixing again. So all is going well. We just hope that we can keep it warm enough in the tent. There's supposed to be some storms rolling through tonight, so temperatures are dropping. And instead of using one side of the heater, we have had to turn on the second one now just to try and keep it right around 70 degrees Fahrenheit.
Divided by 8.4 equals 14375.
I've got 2 pastry bags ready. I've got a third one cut, so we can take the nozzle off. Got scrapers. Begins. Can I have mine with sprinkles?
You may.
So good and ice cream.
There's a place I have never been, on the cover of a magazine, alright. Gotta stay till the bitter end, on the upshot of falling trends, alright. Is it time for
Yeah, make sure you don't have anything on your hands.
There's some right here.
Okay, we're gonna need to address that. There's some right here as well.
Oh, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so this needs to be pressed up.
Okay.
Yep. Just you pull up a little bit. All right, if you want to pull it that way.
We We have just finished cleaning up, and I think the day has been a success. We could not thank Brian and Summer enough for coming out here to lend a hand. Matt and I were a little bit weary if we could do it ourselves, but it turns out once you're kind of like pushing some of the panels out and then lowering them with the come-alongs way over here, it wouldn't have been impossible for the two of us, but it would definitely have been a lot more of a headache. And we just like hanging out with Brian and Summer anyway. So I think we're gonna have a little beer to toast our celebration, maybe go out to dinner, and then let the heaters keep running. Things are starting to harden, but we'll come back and check, and hopefully everything will be cured.
Did you drop it in there?
As soon as Matt's finished putting the tools away, we're gonna have a toast with a local brew. Peabody Heights is actually gifted to us from some of our followers, so we're waiting for a special occasion to break into it. I think this is it. And I think this is gonna go down really nicely after a hard day work.
All right. So I'll bring that by and leave it in there, and then we can look at it and see how
if it is in fact
everything.
Oh, with taking your ring off when you work. It doesn't want to come back on. Do you have everything? Thank you guys so much for your help today. We bonded the first pieces of the catamaran together.
You're not gonna do a pun about bonding together over bonding the hull, or?
We're bonding over bonding.
Got some on you.
Oh, this is good.
Yeah.
Hey there everyone, we hope you really enjoyed this episode with a momentous occasion for us of getting the very first hull pieces bonded. Coming up next is going to be the bridge deck, which will officially make us a catamaran, so that is incredibly exciting. And we don't really have a technical Q&A for this episode because not too many questions came from last week's episode, but one thing that has been kind of like popping up here and there in our comments and in our social media too, make sure to check that out, is what is happening with that Viking project boat that you took on the fall and that you plan to live on. And I'm currently sitting on it right now. We actually have been living on this for just a few weeks now, but truth be told, we haven't completed the projects that we set out to do. If you saw some episodes back in the fall, we were like ripping out some of the coring from the V-berth there was rotting. And we've actually just been waiting for some warm, dry weather to go through and get that fixed. We've had the dehumidifier running in there since probably November. And so this weather just isn't really changing. And of course, the catamaran takes a lot of our focus too. So that room is still shut off at the moment. Matt and I are just pretty much like living between the galley and the salon of the boat, which is totally fine. Lots of space there, but we will be going through in the next few weeks and making those changes and kind of like finishing up the V-berth so that it is a usable room again. But since we've moved over here from Eastport, which of course we do miss and we love, such a great area right across the bridge from historic downtown Annapolis, but being out here at Kentmorr, I don't know if you can see the tent in the background. I mean, it's like seriously a 2-minute walk from door to door, so that has been incredibly helpful for us. Without having that 30-minute commute, Matt just runs kind of like back and forth at his leisure while I'm cooking dinner and doing things, so it's been very, very handy living here. Again, thank you very much to Alex and Pete and Jeff for making that possible. So make sure to stay tuned for next week's episode And I did want to say also a big thank you to all of those who went onto our Amazon wish list. We are fully stocked in gloves right now, probably 20 to 25 boxes, which does seem like a lot at the moment. Hopefully they last longer than the other ones, at least a few months. But if you're still hoping to help us out with the build, check out our Amazon wish list. Link is in the description below, because there are always going to be little things that we need. Coming up soon, we're going to need a bunch of sanding discs, Dremel attachments, so make sure to check that out. And that's it. So make sure to stay tuned for next week, where more exciting things are always happening here in the workyard.